Into the Hall of Fame and all that?
Yeah, this is a great example of recruiting is not an exact science, right? You know, we knew Tony Stubblefield and I. Did he tell you the story when we went to see him at Notre Dame Prep? The school was actually there was no Notre Dame Prep. They lived in a house. The prep school played in the basement of a grade school. We drove by like 5 times just trying to find him. So fast forward from there to, him scoring 2,000 points is unbelievable. The only thing I'll say is after he practiced, I knew after he practiced his character, his work ethic. We all try to find talent, but I'm old now and I know that grit and work ethic's the hardest thing to find, and his work ethic was second to none. If Kobe Bryant was the hardest worker in the history of the NBA, he's the hardest working player that I've ever coached. He put in more time in the gym. I told him he couldn't dribble with his left hand, and he had to become a combo guard to play in the NBA. And I was in Vegas recruiting, and it's like the 10 o'clock game. He might have been there. And I got a video from him. He's going through the cones down in the practice gym with his left hand, with George, the manager, and he's yelling, I got a left hand, coach. He's yelling at me on the video, What are you talking about? I got a left hand. It was 1 a.m. It's, on a Friday or Saturday night. So, he's the only player I know was in the gym at 1 a.m. on July on a Friday or Saturday night working on his left hand. So,
you're coaching these kids now. How difficult would it be to take someone like Sean and say, hey, I need you to sit here?
Yeah.
Because we got this dude Lance.
Well,
and then you're going to be a stud.
Well, first of all, if a guy's getting paid, why not get paid for 5 years instead of 4, right? What's wrong with redshirting nowadays? The reason that I had asked him to redshirt, I was concerned. I knew in practice how hard he worked and that he could be a really good player. And obviously, he was in the days of program building in his era. You had to have players, returning players, especially in our program. And the way it had gone on here for so many years, you had to get older. So I didn't want him to transfer. So when we had the meeting, I said, look, I don't want you to not play, get mad, and transfer. I want you to stay. So that's why I want you to redshirt. I think he was so competitive that if he didn't play at all his freshman year, I was worried he would leave. So I said, you're going to be the captain of the team someday. So fortunately, he bought into it.
You once famously said he could score 10 points rolling out of
bed.
Yeah,
he got.
Did you undersell him?
Yeah, probably a little bit. I don't know where he stands at the White Plains. He's probably, maybe they're all-time leading scorer. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's scored everywhere he's ever been. Even when they gave him his chances in the NBA, he scored there as well.
Some debate about the number.
There is no look. There's no debate. There's no debate. First of all, I would say the tradition here probably should be celebrated more. There's not enough numbers up there. Like if you were to ask me, it would be Sean Kilpatrick, then Gary Clark not long behind him, in my opinion. When you're the only guy to ever score 2,000 points at a school, except for the great Oscar Robertson, how is your number not in the rafters? So hopefully it'll just be a matter of time. In committees and all those sort of things. I don't even know who's on those things anymore, but I know that, in my opinion, he's in the baseball they get first ballot Hall of Famers. He's a first ballot, have your number retired guy. When you score 2,000, you help your team to 4 NCAA tournaments and graduate, and you do it with class, the way he did it, his whole time here. So hopefully that'll happen.
Did you know as soon as he was announced that you were going to be here no matter what?
Well, he texted me. We're extremely close, as you know, so he hit me up. He had been hitting me up. He's doing some coaching now. He's running his drills by me. So he hit me right away, and then I didn't want to he didn't know when it was. So then I got a hold of Karen and Mark in development, and fortunately you don't visit as many guys as you used to until the spring with the transfer portal. So we didn't have, and we don't start school, and practice doesn't start officially till next week, or this coming week. So very, very happy I was able to get here.
On nights like these, days like these, getting to look back at these kind of memories with your old players, kind of the most gratifying thing for you as a coach?
Yeah, look, for all of us, I think, and anybody that's ever coached would tell you, to see your guys make it in life is way more satisfying than any win. That's the most important win. But he was an easy one. You know, Sean, there was no doubt that Sean was going to be a great person, have a great life. He's just, you know, attitude and effort carry you a long way in life. You know, if you got great work ethic, great attitude, it's hard to fail. And even if you do, you have that great attitude and great effort, you're going to get up and succeed. So, and he did that throughout his pro career.
Were you a big Marty Gilliard guy this time?
I mean, I remember. I mean, Marty was Tom. He played with Brian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
D'Antonio.
so he was
recruited
Mark
him.
then Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the resurgence. That was the resurgence when we started winning big in football, which was, you know, growing up here was kind of a first for me. It was exciting. Great, you know, great receiver.
Coach, walk us through what that initial conversation was with Sean once he found out that he was going into the Hall of Fame.
Well, you know, certain people, you know, take things differently. You could probably tell from here, it means a lot to him. You know, I'm kind of indifferent to things like that. I'm older. I just want to have good health, you know, and you know, have your kids do well. But he was really excited. Like it's really means a lot to him. So I was worried he was gonna be like, "Damn, you ain't coming," because I didn't say anything to him. I wanted to surprise him. So, you know, in the back and forth, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be great for you," and he's like, "Oh, thanks." So I had to play it off. But it tells you how much he cares about the University of Cincinnati and how much he put into his time here. He put a lot of effort into his time here.
Thanks, Coach.
You guys